Fucking clankers. Fucking clankers. Fucking clankers.
Hey!
You look so
we
nice.
we don't record video, so just,
No, we don't. So don't worry about that. Yeah.
I didn't wear this for you guys. I wore this for Venus. Just saying.
I wore this for both of you guys. Look at we got merch.
That's actually a dope ass shirt.
It's green. Got to wear green for Venus.
Yeah. And
Wow,
I'm
I
just
have
in
no green
I'm just
on.
in blue workout.
I am in
bullshit.
black. Okay, I'm gonna put a green post-it on me.
There you go. We're
Okay.
gonna this way we can commemorate Venus. It is Venus's day, and you like Freya, right? So
I love Freya.
we're gonna praise female goddesses today, but also praise Rowdy Roddy Piper.
And I have green lip smackers.
You're good. You are
There's
in
green on this can
and
so
red
Oh yeah.
and
all-
red.
Yes.
We got Aries and Venus going on.
And then I
here.
have my strength. This isn't green, it's yellow, but strength crystal candle going.
Awesome.
I feel like my hair is gonna be lit on fire.
I
It's
got
so-
a I got a
hyped.
banana candle going in the background in your honor.
Wait, did you get that from like Gwyneth Paltrow? What do you mean by banana? Because remember when she
Sweetie.
had that line of
Sweetie, no. No.
those candles that smelled like, different things that we can't
I
talk
got this
about?
I got this from the Walmart. Okay.
You mean-
Like
Oh.
that's not a
So it's real bananas. It's
Yeah.
real nanners.
I
I say
don't know.
nanners all the time.
Which is why I got them.
I feel so
So
loved
Gwyneth-
right now.
To see what condition my y'all remember when like Kenny Rogers was like jamming before like
Yes,
he
I know.
like
Then
with
he
the
died.
Gambler?
Yeah.
I've got that album up there somewhere.
Jesse, that is like the summer of 76 with me when my dad had this Datsun station wagon and he hated that thing. And he would we'd go to like the fashion fair and eat food with forks at a restaurant called Spoons. And he would leave the keys in the car and say, please steal this car. And then he was so sad after we ate food and we came
That's
out and
great.
no one stole his goddamn Datsun
I
station
really
wagon.
feel like I really feel like everybody in their childhood like ate at a diner called Spoons. I think it used
Is that
to be
a thing? Sam, is that a thing? Are you
No.
East Coaster?
Yeah, I'm an East Coaster. And I remember
Mhm.
Kenny Rogers had his own restaurant for a while.
Roasters.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
It
Kenny
was.
Rogers.
It was Roasters.
Roasters. He did
Yeah,
like
yeah.
rotisserie chickens. Yeah.
You know what I love about those places? You go in there, you get like one sandwich and 8 different sauces, like barbecue, honey mustard, sriracha, I don't know, ranch, and that's like all about the sauces. I'm
It
like an
is.
absurd condiment person. Anyway,
I love sauces too. You should see. It's like you've seen my pantry. Have you like crashed my Zoom camera that's in my
Yes.
pantry? Yeah, because it's all sauces. Like
I
half
astral
of it.
projected. I came to your house out of my body and inspected your fridge before I agreed to do anything with you guys. Your
Oh
fridge,
my
I had to give your fridge the green light before this could happen.
It's all in the theme of
Kenny
green.
Rogers.
Okay,
Indeed.
wait.
Roasters.
I need to do this properly, you guys, because Sam, the Sky Guy, has become our dear friend. We're not sure how we got this lucky. Jesse and I feel like we like sacrificed 10 goats, and I love goats, but to sacrifice something that we love a lot in the moonlight because we have this new dear friend in Sam, and he
Aw.
has seen into our birth charts. He is so good at what he does. And we highly recommend that you guys sign up and do your own birth chart reading because you may think you know yourself, but it's like your own personal owner's manual. So
Wow.
that's your intro.
Well,
That's
thank
it.
you.
We love
it's
you.
been a pleasure meeting you guys. I, love the collaboration, the friendship, the camaraderie. Appreciate the openness. As a historical point, I think you guys probably ran into me when I was on Rachel White's live. So
We did. I think
that was
you're
for the
right.
fire horse here,
Yeah.
which
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
for real. And
It
I was
was.
wearing red that night because it was Mars
It's
Day,
appropriate.
and I was also drinking red juice. So
There you go.
that's what was going on, and I don't remember much else.
Wasn't there a red light too, or am I wrong?
Roxanne.
Oh, that was the
Mm,
blood moon. That was by
ding,
totally
ding.
unplanned. Totally unplanned. That was like I think that was going to be yeah, right. So a couple of weeks later, Rachel was going to have Natalie on, but Natalie was having
Yeah.
technical issues.
Ah,
So a few of us popped on to kind of like pinch hit while Natalie was figuring out her computer stuff.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember it like it was yesterday now.
I know, but yet it feels like such a fond memory. It
Indeed.
just really does. And now you have read our birth charts, like
Yes.
individually,
Mhm.
Jesse and me. And then it was so hard because I had my birth chart read by you after Jesse. And Jesse's like this, I want to talk about it, but I can't, Jen, till the podcast on Friday. And then I was with you, Sam, on Wednesday, which was a couple days ago. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to tell Jesse, but we couldn't. And then
No.
you've been locking down secrets too, Sam. So
Yeah, for the most part.
spill the tea.
Spill the tea. Well, I mean, what jumped out at me at first is you both have Mars in Aquarius, which is like this whole AI theme, if you want to think about it. Now, I want to,
both have it.
yes, you both have Mars in Aquarius, exactly. 22 degrees for Jesse and 20 degrees for you, Jennifer. So,
So does he win? Wait, does Jesse
does he
win?
win? It's not about winning. I'll do my best to be like fair here.
Okay.
I don't know if that's like a contest that we were just in there.
I just had to say it. I just had to say it, Jesse. Wow, that was so shiny. I felt like I had to stop talking. And then I have a green post-it on me.
Why
Oh,
is
no,
the
I'm
flash
blind.
on? Yeah.
Okay, so I'm so sorry for Jesse,
Jesus.
my co-host, who interrupted us with a photo
Yeah.
screenager.
Well,
So
It's not
Aquarius,
supposed
Mars
to have
and
a
Aquarius.
flash. I never use a flash. I don't know.
I'm
what-
trying to play the adult here, but so go ahead.
I'm going to be the adult.
Please
Oh.
continue and forgive my technical upsets.
That's all
Sorry.
right. So yes, I had told you, Jen, both you and Jesse,
Yeah,
I told you
yeah.
guys that I'm going to kind of talk about the mutual or the,
Yeah.
the things in common. But I had told you, Jennifer, that I would not know this because I'm not omniscient as an astrologer. If any astrologer tells you that they're omniscient, get the hell away, run fast, join some other cult. Anyway, right. So you both have Mars in the sign of Aquarius. Now, Aquarius, I connect to the whole computer information tech world. That's one reading of Aquarius, not the only one. I'm not saying it's the only meaning. And it's interesting.
Yeah.
You guys have the planet of war, Mars, in that sign, right?
So
So
appropriate.
it's kind of like an accidental finding, let's say. We're looking at the MRI and, oh, look, we found Mars in Aquarius where you guys are both fighting artificial intelligence.
That is
I mean, I don't
crazy.
think that's a coincidence for.
That's Cooper barking. I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
I didn't know if that was one of yours or one of mine. All right,
It's one
keep
of
going.
mine. I
Yeah.
locked him out because he was so bad with Sam on Wednesday. I was like, you're
You know
banished.
what? I have to say he was really, really patient. I mean, he was a lot more patient than I would have been if I were waiting to go out and do my thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, here, spoiler alert before Jesse, you wanted to talk about the Mars and Aquarius. I put him out. It was like barely a tinkle. He was all fake. He heard my husband come home and he thought he was missing out on snacks. So that's what that was about. So that's
It's
why
all
he's
about
banished.
food.
He literally just wanted to get in the room while you guys were doing the reading, is what was going
Freaking
on.
lab. He's a freaking lab.
Yeah. So it's interesting because the planet of war, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, so we could talk about Mars's natal aspects, but we've already done that privately. What seems to unite you guys is this crusade against AI. Now, I had said, Jen, that your Mars is in the place of like higher learning, philosophy, right?
Yes.
Public-facing religion, spirituality.
Right.
Right. So, but it's importing friends for you. It's importing your 11th house, which is your close friends, your allies, and your public community.
And that's you, Jesse. And that's
So,
you, Sam,
right.
my new
So
friend.
Ooh.
Mars ropes in your allies, right, into this kind of philosophical crusade against AI. And for Jesse, his Mars is in the 7th house. So like that's committed partners, spouses, but also long-term collaborators and also open enemies. So it's like interesting for like Jen, for you,
Wow.
it's like spiritual and
Yeah.
philosophical. For Jesse, it's like, I'm going to kill every fucking robot out there.
Wow. And here's me like rubbing your shoulders. You can do it. Go ahead and kill him, but just one at a time.
My spiritual work wife. Yes.
There you go.
Exactly.
Spiritual work wife. That's hilarious. So yeah, that's like the kind of punchline that you guys have this in common. Let me see what else that's doing for Jesse. But it's interesting for Jesse, that's importing his philosophy in higher learning
Yeah, it
and
sure
his public
is.
facing spirituality. So this is kind of mutual reception of sorts. Not
Hmm.
technically exactly, but listen, it works. Okay. We don't have to
Yeah.
get too crazy about the nuts and bolts of it. Um, you guys have this in common. It's an awesome thing to see.
Wow. Wait, Sam, can I ask you about Jesse? And Jesse, is
Sure.
it okay if I ask a question about you?
No, I don't care.
Okay, so with the Mars for Jesse, does it also tie in at all to like reigniting his creativity? Because I feel like this
Hmm.
whole venture that we've been on, it's kind of done that for both of us. Wouldn't you say,
Right.
Jesse?
It's
Kind
definitely done it for me for
me too.
sure.
Yeah.
It's interesting because so for you it's philosophy. So well, you meaning for Jen, it's in the
Hmm.
place of philosophy bringing friends. For Jesse, it's partnerships and open enemies bringing in philosophy. The creativity, that's interesting because creativity I would put to Venus, where Venus is.
Mm.
So I don't see anything that's obviously like, yes, this also unites their creativity.
Hmm.
It is a common mission, right?
Yeah.
So just taking a step back, you would bring to bear whatever it is that you guys are both passionate about, and you both
Hmm.
happen to be creatives. So I don't
Hmm.
have to look at the stars to make sense of that.
Hmm.
The reaffirmation is cool though. You know what I
I
mean? That like,
know it is.
yeah,
To see
Yeah.
that it's in our birth charts, that's what's so
yeah.
powerful about having a birth chart is that basically it is truly an owner's manual.
It's the
And
confirmation is the
It
word
is.
I was looking for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
what's
Yeah.
interesting is neither of you are particularly crazy about a career as such, a
Hmm.
traditional career. You're both like zealous for this united mission with Mars and Aquarius,
Yeah, we
right?
don't
I,
care. It's like I don't care if it
I,
brings us a dime. We
I've
Mhm.
just
tried
want to
to,
do it.
I've tried to do traditional careers. They don't work.
But you
No.
mentioned creativity, right? So let's take a look
Yeah.
at that if you don't mind.
Yeah. Yeah, please.
Also, both have Venus in Scorpio. So
We
yeah,
both do.
you both have Venus in Scorpio.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and those are also end up being what's called a sextile. If we put your charts together, which is a not as strong as a trine, but it's a harmonious relationship nonetheless. And Venus in Scorpio is said to be exiled, which I think spoke with you more about, Jennifer.
Hmm.
For you, Jennifer, Venus happens to be in the 10 degrees of Scorpio where she actually rules, and she's conjunct with Neptune very tightly. So all of your creativity, your fantasies, your dreams, your inspirations, and your creative work are inspired
Hmm.
by this scorpionic placement. For
Wow.
Jesse, it's more about his home, like his kind of sense of depth and attachment and enjoyment and art, even and artistic expression is really tied to his home. Whereas for you, it's about the grind and churning out work. So make of that what you will.
Well, it's interesting because Jesse, I always think of your barn sales, but also your video cassettes, your books. They're so delicious and nutritious that you kind of keep everything and you have it all organized and cataloged. And that makes sense that that's your happy place. It's like you have your own akashic records right there in your midst.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
creating it.
I mean, that may be a little Akashic record, maybe a
Akashic
little
Records,
deep
the,
for
the
all my
the
videotapes.
VHS version of
Yeah.
Akashic Records. I
Yeah.
love it.
But I mean,
The
okay.
Shockic records.
I'll
I
give
don't
you
know.
that. But yeah, I mean, I want to build like a library, and I
Mhm.
don't know why.
Yes.
It's not it's not even really for me. I mean, it brings me joy,
Yeah.
but I also get joy out of thinking like, okay, who's gonna stumble upon this one day? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Who's going to
not like
borrow it or
I'm
share
not like
it?
I'm filling up some, not like I'm some pharaoh filling up a tomb or something, a pyramid or something, but somebody's gonna, I'm protecting this stuff while I'm around, and then hopefully it brings other people joy. That's kind of how I think about it.
Yeah. It feels that way.
But Jesse, it is your happy place. It's your fifth house that's importing all this like other people's stuff. We've talked about it. So, Pisces ruling your eighth house is other people's stuff, resources. And Jupiter, the ruler of Pisces, is in your fifth house of private enjoyments and hobbies. And so effectively, Jupiter is bringing in magnanimously, generously, copiously other people's treasures into your home where you can
Wow, that's
enjoy them.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that placement for you is tied to Neptune, which again is importing all these fantasies and dreams and hallucinations and whatnot. Also in conjunction with your moon, where you're feeling very nurtured and receptive and tuned into your emotion body. Also, the moon controls Cancer, which is like the place where you find most nostalgic energy. So there it is in the
Wow.
package.
It's right there.
That's lit. Like if you wanted to write like a Wikipedia article about me, just write down everything Sam just said.
That's how I feel. That's why I feel like people need to do this for themselves, because you think you know yourself, but sometimes you feel like, I don't know, a sense of being lost, or maybe I'm off my
Right.
path or whatever. And who am
Right.
I at my, for what do the stars say I am? And it can be a path to remembering the things that you love, that you naturally are good at, that you forgot that you wanted to spend time nurturing. It kind of gives you that kind of path back, like a hiking path
Yeah.
back.
I mean, I'll admit, I'm into like this kind of reading that I'm displaying. This is what I'm most enjoy doing and what inspires me. But see other astrologers too, because there's just too much information packed into a birth chart. And you're going to want different perspectives. You're going to want tune-ups, or maybe just having second opinions, third opinions once a year, just to kind of round out what's happening.
Yeah.
I mean, now that we've gotten these readings, like I can't imagine like not getting more of them,
Same.
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah.
I feel as well.
It's like
Yeah.
you don't know you need this until you get it, and then you're like, oh, yeah.
It does open
okay.
interesting doors. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
And also
it's
paths
so
to
right.
healing, some deep, serious healing. And I've been on that path for a while now, but it was interesting. You brought up something, and when my kids were in school, it was called the no-no zone. You'd put a little square, the no-no zone. But you
Right.
brought that up and you said you need to just be careful and make sure you tend your health there. And I went, oh, okay. And I banked that knowledge. And then in the dead of night, I woke up at like 2 a.m, went, oh, that's the sexual abuse.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that was in my chart, and it doesn't mean, but that's how it showed up in my life. And I went, oh, because when you said it, I thought, oh, I felt like I dealt with that. I've looked at that square on, and I'm like, what was I gave birth to 2 beautiful kids without even an ounce of pain relief because we got there too late. And I was like, whoa, that was my abuse that I suffered. And how it connects to Jesse is because Jesse and I have been dear friends for so long. But one of the things that you told me very early on was like, oh my God, we did Dungeons and Dragons, like high school kids. And that group of us just kind of kept going, and we'd have the campaigns. And that was totally my safe place, was my big brother and his friends. And if I hung out there with them, I was safe. So it's like, Dungeons and Dragons means so much to me. It's like my happy, safe womb that I didn't get from my natural parents. And you had no idea, Jesse, but I was like, we were friends. We've been friends for more than a decade through the book publishing. But then you said that, and I went, spiritual brother right there. Yep.
I mean, it's true. Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, we're related. Like
yeah,
that.
I know.
Yeah.
We talk about it all the time. Exactly. Exactly.
Uh-huh.
So wait, you guys actually did not grow up together. We're not
No.
high school friends. Okay.
No, we didn't. Like, I was in Eastern Washington. He was in Eastern Texas. And we just became friends. Like, the minute he's the one that called me, I was in line with my daughter, Bryn, at it was California Adventureland. We were waiting for the water ride with the big bear rock thing. And I get this phone call on my cell phone, and he goes, we're going to publish your book. And he called from my publishing house and said, we're going to publish your book. And I went, what?
Wow.
And then my daughter, Bryn, she was so social back then, she's a Leo, and she showed that social part back then. So we get on the little raft. She's like, my mom's going to be a published author. And she was like telling them all about my book and this and that. And so that was how me and Jesse started our friendship. And then we actually got to meet in person, but it was all through Twitter, wouldn't you say? I mean, a lot of like social
Right.
Yeah.
media stuff and friendship. And then we got to meet in person. And
In my brain too, I was in line at Epcot when I emailed you. So I don't know, but that's always what I flash back to. I think we may have both been at Disney on different coasts at the same time.
I
That's
thought
really
you
cool.
said
That is really cool.
something like that
Yeah.
at the time.
I remember because I was, that's when things were, the startup was like, you couldn't walk away from it. So,
no, it was so exciting.
Yeah.
But
So I was constantly like, oh, we got to be in line for 45 minutes. I'm emailing people, and I mean,
you're texting people, emailing people, calling
feel
people.
like it, yeah.
There was such a great synergy. It was a bunch of really amazing creators that were coming together. And it was kind of a faith exercise in a sense, because what you did is if you had different talents. So like I did I used to be an illustrator as well as a cover artist, and not cover songs singing them, but like the actual covers of books. And so if you felt like you were aligned with a project, you could ping the author and say, well, here's my style, here's my portfolio. Do you like it? And you would like build this team of editors, proofreaders, cover artists, and the authors and the book manager. And you would become a team that felt like we want to back this. And then you tried to together be a team and make it like the best it could be. And then we all supported each other's books and projects. It was just such a selfless experience. It was a beautiful experience. But then Jesse, you sent me an email last week and said, were we in a cult? So I want to hear more about that.
It's really fun. I that's all I got right now. But I was like, were we?
That's still it. That's
that
still all you got.
Yeah, that's still all I got. But I was like, it was such a everybody was just like, so like, oh my God, let's go make art, and let's go, I feel like what we're doing now though is in a way more pure, and I feel like that's what we're doing right now is we're building 2.0 with everybody, Sam included, that we've met. We've all got stuff to do. I don't know what it is yet. I don't know what we're supposed to be making, but
we got to make something.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
I think what we're doing,
we're literally all of some of the coolest people I've ever met are all ganging up together right now. You know what I mean? So it's like that's gotta mean something. That's gotta go somewhere, right?
Well, I feel like part of me, a lot of me, actually, like 98% right now, if I'm honest, is saying we are doing important work, which is transmuting fear into love, fear into curiosity. And I think that that's really important because so many people have been in fear mode for, I would say, 6 years, even, they don't even realize it. Yeah. And that is such a poison to your system, to your community, to your family, to your pets, to fill in the blank. And it's not productive. It's like running on a hamster wheel. And so I think that part of what we're all doing is like, Jesse and I add this, we don't need to. We're like, they're called doom holes. We're talking about the headlines of the week, but we end up laughing our asses off about these things. We're
you have to laugh because what's the other option, right?
I know, right?
It's so horrible and dystopian, and it's definitely not the dystopia that we wanted growing up.
No.
Right.
No, man, I was, and I know you were too, Sam. I was promised aliens. I was going to get to fight aliens. Save the planet. I was gonna, then it was zombies. You know what I mean? And it's like, I
was gonna have replicants meet me at the door when I came home from work.
Right?
Rachel from Blade Runner, not the real Rachel in real life.
I know exactly. I know exactly what you're talking about. I wanted Rosie the robot from the Jetsons. I was like, I wanted the thing in the wall where I could say, I want some dinner, and then the flap opens up and there it is on a tray. That would have been nice.
Don't give me on that thing, but that's why I'm convinced that we're not in the same place that we started off in.
Wait, is it a timeline jump? What is it then?
It's that fucking Hadron Collider, that fucker.
Oh, CERN.
Yeah.
Well, apparently they had to make it.
I'm just gonna call it the Hard-On Collider.
Well, they had to make it
you know
bigger,
what I mean?
right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the thing with the Hard-On Collider? It just wasn't good enough. It had to be bigger.
I have a friend who she was drunk one night and she called it the Hard-On Collider,
Right.
and I've never called
May
it
as well.
anything since. Yeah,
I mean,
was just
seriously, like,
"Ah,
what
it's
are they doing to it? Are they like repairing it, or are they extending it, or what?
They say it's going to be shut down for 4 years, but I felt fuckery this week, so I'm convinced that like
I know.
there's still
I think it's a
on.
lie too. That's how I felt too. We
I can't
all
keep
felt
up with
it the
this
same
stuff.
day.
It's so crazy.
I sent the article to another friend of mine. And she goes, "Yeah, okay, great. They're just shutting it down for 4 years so they can make it worse." You know, and
I
was
know.
like, "Oh, God."
Did you guys watch the Evil on? I think it was Paramount. It's a series.
I know what you're
serious?
Yes.
talking about, but no, man, I haven't seen it.
No, I haven't.
I'm not
Tell
gonna
us
I'm
about
not
it.
gonna spoil it, but in the
Oh.
last season, there's a couple of episodes I think that tie into something like the Large Hadron Collider.
Yeah.
The Hard-On
Yeah.
Collider.
Well, I said it right, just in case
No,
the
you
robots,
sure did.
the robots are listening, which they
Nick
are.
Cave's got a great song called the Higgs Boson Blues.
Wait, does all this relate to Krull? Because you guys are going to teach me about Krull. I don't
Oh,
even know what
God.
Krull is. What is it?
Oh my God! It
Jen,
is-
have you've never seen you played Dungeons and Dragons, but you and grew up in the 80s, but you've
I
never
know.
fucking seen Krull? What the hell?
No, I feel like my dad, Gary Riley, really let me down on this one. Sorry, Dad.
Hmm.
Rest in peace. But you really let me
all
down.
right, it
We
was
saw
kind of a cult-
Basket Case.
It was kind of a cult classic, kind of a
Yeah.
My
thing.
dad
Well, I mean,
loved
it is
cult
now at this
classics. I
point.
mean, come on.
I
But,
mean,
you know-
at the time, it wasn't. You know, it was made during that whole when they were and help me out here, Sam. When they were making like stuff like
Never ending story.
Labyrinth,
Oh,
Lady
Labyrinth.
Hawk, you
Yeah.
know, all that kind of stuff.
Dragon
you know what I mean?
Slayer.
Dragons,
Exactly.
yeah, there you go.
Kind of that fantasy kind of thing. So wait, what's the
Absolutely.
premise?
So,
So it's okay.
who
Sam,
wants to
Sam,
take who
Sam,
wants to
jump
do
in,
this?
jump in at any time. Okay.
All right, can I just all right, I just
Yes.
want to say that I'm going to use this word as lovingly as possible, but craptastic is
I love that.
one of the words we have to use for Krull because okay, spoiler alert, the
Yes.
opening scene is shamelessly Star Wars but with a castle, all right? It's like this giant castle is floating through space and
I
it's
mean,
the
he's not wrong.
Wait, did they do the words at a slant that are
No.
disappearing into the sky?
No, it's called okay. Fortress of Ultimate Darkness is
the
from
Beast Lair.
I think they call it the Black Fortress. don't
Yeah,
they?
something like that, right?
Yeah, Fortress of the Fortress of Ultimate Darkness is shit. Time Bandits, which is
Oh.
another movie right around that time. But,
Exactly.
I mean, they basically just went, hey, let's just Joseph Campbell the fuck out of this thing.
Go
you
for
know?
it.
Yeah. And which is part of the reason why I love it, because when I was a kid, I was like, I don't know what Joseph Campbell is, but this is awesome. Look at that. There's a flying castle. You know? Yeah.
It's like that long shot where the spaceship keeps on going and going. That's Spaceballed.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
Spaceball's lampooned. Except
Right.
it's a fucking castle.
Yeah, it's
It's
fucking, it's fucking castle. Yeah.
And it's flying through
Oh
space.
my god, this is so weird. I have to see
Jen,
this.
you got to. We should.
do.
If there was a way to like
Oh,
where we
could
wouldn't
we
get in
live
trouble.
stream
No, we're
it?
gonna
I
have
know
a
where we
viewing
have
party.
like a viewing party.
Viewing
Yes.
Can we do
yes.
that?
Absolutely.
on Substack.
Let's
Okay,
have a
that's
viewing party
amazing.
on Krull, get completely blitzed, and talk
Yes.
about the movie as it
Wait,
goes.
when do
I
we
wonder
take
if we
shots? There
could.
needs to be something like we
Oh.
can't.
It's
I'm
too
fucking
easy.
taking shots now. But yeah, so it's set on another planet called Krull,
Right.
but it's
Oh, that's
basically
where
like
the name comes from.
Yeah, but it's
It's a
basically like your standard sword and sorcery kind of a thing, and like so many people that became huge. I think it's like Liam Neeson's first movie.
Yep.
And
Get out of here.
Hagrid
No,
is in
I'm
it.
serious. Yeah. Who?
Hagrid, the actor that was Hagrid.
Yeah. Bobby Coltrane,
yeah.
I think, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
Robbie
that's
Coltrane,
right.
Yeah,
There was a guy that was in Braveheart. I forget his name. He was in it.
yeah, that dude.
There was
is-
like some
I know
old
who you're
British
talking about.
actors, like OG British actors were in it that are no longer with us.
Freddie. Oh God, what is his?
Freddie
name?
Jones.
I'm not asking the clankers. I'm asking the stupid
Oh my god.
internet database, which
Yeah,
is
you turned
probably
off the
the
clankers.
Speaking of
always-
IMDb, Krull is not horribly rated. It's got like a 6 point something, which is not
because
That's
bad.
solid.
I know because it's
Right.
become a cult classic.
Right.
Yeah, they're.
What about Rotten Tomatoes? What is it ranked on?
I wouldn't look at RT because
know.
all
They're
It's
not
got,
legit.
it's totally gamed.
Yeah, it totally is.
Okay. So it's Liam Neeson. Okay. And yeah, you were right. Freddie Jones and Robbie Coltrane was in it.
And the mom from Dune played the Black Widow.
Yeah, the Widow of the Web.
Yeah.
Francesca
Whoa,
Annis.
what a cool name.
She's the Widow of the Web.
Is it based on a book?
Nah.
No, they made this shit up like from thin air.
Shit they made up.
It was Dungeons and Dragons, space fantasy. It was insane. It really was insane.
Whoa.
And it's basically like I'm not going to spoil the whole movie, but it's basically like the main dude and the main girl, the protagonists, okay, the male and female, they're like prince and princesses in their house, they're joining their houses together, so they're about to get married, and then the monster from the Black Fortress comes and kidnaps the princess.
He sends these things called slayers. They look like space things. They're like kind of like stormtroopers, and they have like a one-shot laser. It's so ridiculous. They have
it's just the one shot.
Yeah, they
it
have
looks
a javelin.
It looks like a spear. Yeah, right on. It's like a spear or like a javelin.
It's like a musket. It shoots one laser, and then they have to turn it around. No.
When you kill one,
they flip it over.
Yeah, when you kill one, totally. When you kill one, like it, I guess it's got its brain jumps out of it and like
it's a
goes
worm.
into
It's
the
a
ground.
giant worm.
It's like a giant worm.
And then do you have to kill that?
Well, no, the worm escapes. It goes down into the ground
because it always goes to the ground. Like
this feels like an LSD trip. Are people on ayahuasca seeing images from Krull?
That would be something.
That's what it sounds like.
I'm sure there's somebody. There's got to be somebody out there.
Somebody comes back from an ayahuasca trip and they're like, dude, I had the vision of like the greatest movie, and it was fucking Krull.
It was Krull.
Oh my God. Okay, wait. I wanted to tell you guys about Polybius. So I told you I would share this. It's this urban legend about a mysterious arcade video game. Have you guys heard of it?
I think you mentioned it just.
What is it called?
It's called Polybius. Like Polly, just like Polly Pockets, BS, BIUS. So it's this urban legend. And according to the legend, the game appeared in arcades around Portland, Oregon. Of course it did, in 1981. The gameplay was supposedly psychoactive, abstract, and dangerous. Children who played the arcade game were said to suffer amnesia, seizures, night terrors, and hallucinations. Despite these adverse effects, the arcade cabinet was described as so addictive that players returned to Polybius repeatedly until they went insane, they died, or they vanished. The lack of any surviving Polybius cabinets is explained by men in black who were said to record data on the players before removing all the arcade machines. So there's no evidence for any Polybius machines in the 1980s, or so they say. The earliest known print reference is the September 2003 issue of Game Pro, and the earliest online reference to Polybius is a coinop.org page dated 1998. There's no record of the supposed publisher, which is Sinus Lotion, which sounds very German, and no surviving arcade cabinet has surfaced. And I've even gone to Portland to look for it, by the way. People claim to have seen a Polybius arcade game, and they may be conflating it, they say, with memories of unusual actual titles from the period, like Cube Quest and Tempest. But they also went on in this article to link it to the FBI. So in 1981, 2 Portland residents became ill while playing games in the same arcade. 10 days later, the FBI raided multiple Portland arcades for illegally converting arcade games into gambling machines. It's so random. Parents publicly expressed concerns with this new video game and these arcades that could be dangerous.
This is insane.
I know. And so there were reported cases of epileptic seizures that were link to one teenager that died while playing Berserk. Do you guys remember that game?
Of course we remember. Are you kidding?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then additionally, Atari covertly tested unfinished games in real arcades to monitor player reactions. So they think that that's how it became an urban legend, where kind of these things kind of coming together. It's lasted and it still has cultural impact. It's persisted in video game journalism and appeared in music, TV, film, and
I have
performance
never,
arts.
ever
This is
heard
so
of
wild.
this. Yeah.
Totally wild.
I'll send you guys the link to the article, but when you start doing a deep dive, you'll be like, dude, did they do an X-Files on this? I feel like they should have.
Polybius was an ancient Greek historian of the Middle Hellenistic period. He is noted for Histories, a universal history documenting the rise of Rome in the Mediterranean in the 3rd and 2nd centuries BC.
So there really is a Polybius.
So yeah, there's
Polybius.
really a philosopher that this urban legend, I guess, is named after. This
Oh
is
my gosh.
insane. I've never ever. I thought I'd heard all of these.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. I hadn't even thought to look up what the origins of this name are.
It is such a weird urban legend. I mean, I'm sure
Isn't it?
Snopes might have some data on it, although
They
is Snopes
might.
relevant anymore? I don't even know.
Sometimes
you know
they
what?
can be. It
I'm
depends on
not
what the thing is.
sure.
I'm not sure either, but sometimes
I've
you
never
can find.
entirely trusted Snopes. I'm just gonna
Mhm.
throw it out there. You know what I mean? I'm too much of a conspiracy guy.
It was a fun place to go like 15 years ago.
It totally,
It's like,
even 10 years ago, it was pretty fun.
Yeah.
It's like the Cult Awareness Network, the Church of Scientology sued them, and then like put Church of Scientology people in. Like,
Oh,
and
nice.
then when you called the Cult Awareness Network to like get people
Fucking
out of
Scientologists.
fucking Scientology,
This is so signature Scientology.
you were talking
Damn.
you were talking to Scientologists, and the way that they helped you was through Scientology shit. Yeah, 100%.
I mean, they are resourceful. You got to give them credit for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. How do you guys feel? This feels like a mini doom hole, but I wanted to ask you this. How do you feel about the Wayback Machine? They're talking about purging the Wayback Machine from the internet.
I did not hear this, but it sounds awful.
Terrible.
They don't want people the what people are doing. What I heard, okay,
Yeah.
which I'm as much a conspiracy theorist as anybody. But I heard that people are using the Wayback Machine to circumvent paywalls on articles on news, like New York Times or
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And so that's why they're fucking with it right now.
Are you kidding me? Because
Yeah.
AI trained on all of them and they didn't pay a dime. So now they're going to go
Exactly.
after the Wayback Machine.
Yeah,
Makes me so mad.
basically it's just it's publishers protecting their paywalls.
But they won't
It
push
is-
back against the AI
Yeah,
companies.
no, of course not.
Yeah, the
but
tide
I mean,
of AI is too powerful. It's just like a steamroller. It's just grinding away its souls.
yeah,
It's crazy.
There you go.
It
It's like
is.
what you know what
Aramon.
they should have nipped this in the bud way back when they were like, this is how we're gonna get people to subscribe. We're just gonna let give all our shit to Facebook and
No.
and Google, and then
Right.
they got nothing.
Yeah.
It's so insidious the way they just rope people in,
Yeah.
get them addicted to
Yeah.
what they're offering for free.
Yep.
And next thing you know, it's like, well, here we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Let's break things and move fast, said Mark. Right. And
Yeah,
then
exactly.
Right.
and then a billion or so subscribers later, oops, I guess we made some mistakes. We should have done things differently. Well, too late.
Yep. is
way
too
too
How do you
late.
fix that problem?
But I
Yeah.
mean, he's never cared. You know what I mean?
No.
Like,
No.
you can't. That guy.
No.
You know.
Well,
I
I mean,
mean,
you know that they care, but it's just about their tiny group of people because they have the schools in Silicon Valley where it's wild child schools. There's no devices allowed. Half of these billionaires have an island somewhere, including Zuckerberg, where they can just escape and they have everything they need to live
I
out
think
their
they'd
lives
all
with their
strangle
kids.
each other to death with fucking USB cables if you gave them a chance. I don't care.
What is it
Wouldn't
like?
that be
Free
the
range
best reality
humans?
show?
It's like humans running around, no structure. It's like free range humanity.
I'm not gonna say anything about the purge, but okay. So
I would pay to watch the USB
No.
cable throwdown Survivor.
Let's come back to something fun on the topic of video games, if you
Yes,
don't mind.
please. Oh,
So
I love it, Sam.
when you
please
when you
take
brought
us
this-
back off of Doom. Please.
Yes,
I'm gonna-
please.
say something really dorky. So back in the day, there was a series of video games released initially for the Apple II and then the Commodore 64. And this series of games was called Ultima. So Ultima 1, 2, 3, 4 down the line.
Apernum.
Yes,
I don't
sir.
know.
Apernum. Exactly.
Apernum.
You know exactly what I'm saying here.
I've been trying to get it all together, like
Yes.
the text games,
Yep.
that part of it. And like
wait, are you guys talking about the text games where you're like
Well,
you're
no, it
reading
was-
it off a screen and it's
This
no,
was,
what he's talking about is more advanced, but there also was like I think it started as like a text game. I remember my friend playing it was a text game, and then I think it turned into like a bigger deal, but I could be wrong.
wait, so it's Atari 2. It's called
no,
Ultima,
see,
and
it's
it's a
the-
collection of them.
It's the Apple II.
Oh,
And then-
Apple II.
and then
Sorry.
the Commodore 64. And they've been re-released a bunch of times for like PC, console, and
Yeah.
all of that. And I've owned them all at some point in different types of, formats, and then lost them, and then had ROMs in anyway. So it's, if I remember correctly, the first game was the antagonist was an evil wizard, of course, called Mondane. And the second game, Ultima 2, is the Revenge of the Enchantress, Mondane's disciple. I think her name was Minax. The third game was called Exodus, right? Now here's the AI tie-in, or the doom hole of it, or
Yeah.
the prophecy of it.
Yeah.
It turns out that when you get to the end of the game, the evil child of Mondane and Minax is a computer, is a machine that's ruling the Ultima world, spewing out monsters and evil spells and shit. And the way to defeat it, spoiler alert, is to put the punch cards in the correct order. I mean, it was like the right idea, but the wrong solution. Because punch cards are not going to help us.
I kind of remember that.
Handshaking.
There was like
Oh
my
my
buddy
God.
he had a whole list of like codes for the game.
Yes.
And the one I remember is the Aper Unum, and it was like open. It was like an open sesame kind of a thing. If I'm not
Jesse, what you're remembering is so yes, it was text because you had to type in the name of each spell that you were going to use.
that's
think.
that's
Right.
where I'm fucked up.
Or there were specific like individual key, because you needed the whole keyboard to play it. It was so crazy. So like A would be Aper Unum to open a door. There was some other key that meant to go up the dungeon, down the dungeon. There was other keys to cast fireballs. I mean, it was so crazy and advanced for its time. Major props to Lord British, aka Richard Garriott, who has since, I think he got kicked out of the company when it became Activision or something years ago now, years and years ago. Anyway.
Wow.
Yeah, I
There's my
found some of
contribution
it.
to your
No,
doom
no,
hole.
it's no, dude. You
Love it.
literally just answered like tons of questions I've had in my head, like so just out of nowhere. So thank you. But some of it's on. You can find some of it on the archive. Some of it, there's still an active license on it, and you have to go buy it.
Well, they came out with an Ultima Online version eventually where you could play like a multiplayer role-playing game and just like run around beating the crap out of each other.
Oh shit, I forgot about that. That was
Yeah.
like what's that thing that I never got into it?
I think it was like
that's a World of Warcraft like predecessor. Yeah.
It was the first of its kind, exactly. And it was a subscription model. You could get the client for like really cheap. And then
what I found the other day that I've been going through, and I got the map here
Wow.
underneath my thing.
It
Yeah,
says Zork, the
can-
first, Zork 1.
you can
What is that?
literally. It's Zork was like one of the earliest text adventure games, and you can
it's massive.
you can play it all. I guess Microsoft owned it because Gates was a big fan of it back in the day, bought it, but they just released it all where you can get it all for free. I've downloaded all of it, and it's like I got all the manuals on the archive, and down and printed them all out. And so I'm sitting there like going by this map, like when I ever have time to play this, and going by this map and just going like room to room through this thing.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
nuts.
Yeah, it's really amazing what they accomplished with what they had back then. And the marketing on those games by Infocom was brilliant because you'd get the game in what looked like an LP, like a double LP, and it would open up like a flap, and it came with all these like tchotchkes and spell books
Oh,
and maps and
oh my
trinkets that, yeah,
God.
like it was like, but the game itself was just text and you typing like basic commands. Yet the marketing
Yes.
really played to your imagination.
And that stuff is worth cash nowadays.
Oh, I
Crazy.
bet it is. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
people are having nostalgia. They're saying, I miss my iPod. Why did I get rid of my iPod? And I'm like, I have 3 and I'm not selling them to you guys. But those games, I remember the games that we had this old clunky computer and me and my brother would sit together and it's like you had to ask questions. Where am I? You're in a room and there's
Exactly.
blood on your hand and there's
Yeah.
a knife over there. And we're like, then you had to ask another question. Then you had to keep going. And those were some of my best childhood memories.
Yeah, that's the ZORK game I'm talking about. That's kind of
Yeah.
what that was. Yeah. Have either one of you ever watched this? And it's been about 10 years now, but there was a series on AMC called Halt and Catch Fire.
No, I've
Sounds
never
familiar,
heard of
but
this.
yeah,
it's
yeah.
kind of it's kind of hard to find. It doesn't really exist in physical. You know, but there are ways to get it, which is all I'll say. Also, you can you can do an AMC Plus free trial and pretty much burn the whole thing in a weekend, you know, and just run right through it. But it's set in the 80s and it's all about the whole computer, and it's really well made. You know,
Is it a documentary?
No. It's an actual series. It's got Lee Pace and Scoot McNairy and Mackenzie Davis are like the 3 main. It starts with like them basically, you know, making personal computers and all those old like conventions they go to, you know, and like all that stuff was new, you know, and like literally like all that they did, and then they got into programming, and then the internet, building the internet, and then like it goes into games and stuff, and it's I think there's 3 or 4 seasons of it, and it's really well done, and it's really compelling. It's better than any, and it's better than any documentary I've ever seen about that shit.
That's fascinating. You know what? It kind of reminds me of For All Mankind, which was about like an alternate history of the space race,
which is fantastic, by the way. And there's a new season coming. Yeah.
Oh,
and a spinoff series, from what I hear.
No kidding.
Yeah, they're gonna do the Russian one, the Star City or whatever.
Cool. So Halt and Catch Fire is like kind of mimicking or doing a docudrama of the true history of computers.
Yeah, I mean it's just a general drama, but like it's a period, you know, it's a period piece like set in the 80s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We gotta check it out. That sounds really cool.
Dude, it's if you're into stuff like that and like you're nerdy nostalgic for things like we just went off on video games for like 20 minutes, then yes, you will love it because it's very well done.
Let's come back to Krull then. I just want to make one quick comment about Krull.
Yes. You guys, we keep going.
Jesse, check me on this, but I have a feeling, or I suspect, that Krull was the first like movie ever to hint at a interspecies same-sex romance. Now,
interesting.
Bear
so specific.
It is very specific. Now, do you remember that scene where, again, spoilers, the Cyclops Rel has to leave, and Ergo the magician says, "I'll ride with you, my friend," and the Cyclops says, "I have to go alone," or something like that. And then Ergo the magician looks at the Cyclops and says, "We didn't have enough time," or something like that.
Yeah, right on.
And when I was a kid, that confused the hell out of me. I'm like, what do you mean you didn't have time? Time for what?
Time for what?
You're supposed to go save the princess. That's what you got to do. Let the Cyclops go. Now I get it. They were like having a budding romance. And while everyone else was camping in the swamp or wherever they were, I'm sure something happened in somebody's tent. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, you know what? I've never actually thought about that, but now that you bring it up, it kind of tracks.
Thank you.
Wow.
I need a validation for that because it's been burning.
It kind of tracks.
Burning a hole in my brain
Jen,
for a while now.
The Cyclops is able to, he only has, he only has the one eye, but like
That's what makes him a cyclops.
But what I'm saying is he has like a psychic power where like they can see the future,
which makes sense because
so
wouldn't it be on the third eye?
He knows, ultimately what his fate's going to be, so he doesn't really have a choice. He knows he has to go, and go.
That is deep.
Yeah, so there was this like intimate moment between the Cyclops and the human where they said goodbye that never made sense to me as a kid. Whoa. But as an adult, having seen Brokeback Mountain, I think I kind of get it.
Yeah,
bro. I'm kind of like now I'm never not gonna think that you're correct.
I can't wait to watch it.
I would like feedback on that. I want the audience to go.
You know what? It's a really fun movie to sit down and watch because the effects are so 80s. And
yeah, of course.
I mean, but it's like I was talking to a friend the other day and she was like, why don't they make fun movies like that anymore? You know what I mean? Where it's just like, and when you think about that period, everything from like stuff we've named a lot of stuff, but like Ghostbusters and like, Goonies and you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, you're literally just watching it's just hey, pop some popcorn.
You know what I mean? Supposed to make a movie out of Polybius, the urban legend Polybius, and make our own like silly, crazy
in my brain,
movie.
Though, that would go dark. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think
it might, but there might be spots of bright in it too.
I mean, like, Ghostbusters is arguably a horror movie, but it's also comedy. It's also comedy.
Yeah,
and
they
it's a feel good movie.
Balance.
Right.
It did.
And you know what else to me? A little bit,
Same with
not
Goonies.
as funny, but like American Werewolf in London.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I
There's
love
some pretty
that movie.
fucking funny parts in that movie.
It does, but it absolutely does. It's such a classic and it really holds up.
That was almost an art movie. I mean, some of those scenes are just so bizarre. Like,
I agree.
This stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's in the movie theater and he's talking to the zombie. And it's like, it's just really, and that scene where they all rush in with machine guns. Like,
that's what I was thinking of.
What is going on here?
Yeah. It's really, it's surreal, but I mean, I guess they were like, okay, what kind of weird ass dreams would you have if like you're suddenly like,
I mean, I'm down for getting together and cosplaying Phantasm. I know that sounds insane, but
my God,
that'd be so
totally
fun.
Do that.
Why can't that be a thing?
Did you ever see the one he did with Bruce Campbell? Where Bruce Campbell's Elvis? It's fucking genius.
Oh, that's so weird. No, I haven't.
Have you guys not seen this? We saw it in the fucking theater in LA and like in the art theater. It was great. But it's the same guy that did Phantasm. It's called it's called Bubba Hotep.
Wait, I'm looking this up.
And so
I feel like you made this up.
Bubba Hotep,
it's a real movie. Yeah, it's a real movie.
Oh yeah. There's
Bubba
Bruce
Hotep
Campbell. There's
the
Bruce
Cosmic
Campbell's chin with an Elvis
Bloodsuckers?
wig.
Oh,
Bruce Campbell, Elvis fakes his own death. You know what I mean? And like,
I'm looking at the cover right now and I'm laughing so hard.
And so the reason I knew about this guy, Joe Lansdale wrote it, and he was like the writer in residence at where I went to college.
Wow.
And they ended up making a movie about it. And so and I think what's the guy's name? Is his name Ossie?
Ossie Davis. Yeah.
Okay. So Ossie Davis, he thinks that he is like JFK. And he thinks that he's reborn. And Bruce Campbell at one point he goes, I don't know how you're JFK because you're a black guy. And he's like he goes like, the CIA did that to me, like, but the two of them are like the protagonists of this movie. So you got like JFK and like and Elvis. Like,
oh my God. And then
the retirement home they're both in, okay, is being attacked by a mummy. like an Egyptian.
How have I not seen this movie?
Me either.
Yet?
This is so in my wheelhouse.
If you're into Phantasm, dude, it's the same people.
On Amazon, it has 831.
Oh, it's got Reggie Bannister in it from Phantasm.
Yeah, there's 831 ratings, and it's a 4.8 star.
A good movie. It's such a good
Holy
movie.
crap!
And it's so fun. Ossie Davis is amazing in it, and so is Campbell. And they kill it. It's so good.
Brilliant. I cannot wait to watch this.
Oh my God, I know. That's what we're all going to be watching after this.
It's one of those that, like, when Halloween rolls around, I usually pull it out. You know, I got to.
Is it like a Halloween vibe? Yeah, but I feel like you can watch it anytime.
It's like it's a horror movie, but it's also like it's also really funny.
Yeah, those are the best. Those like cross-genre movies are like,
yes,
I just love them.
I do too.
Yeah, like we talked about.
I can't believe that it didn't blow up.
Yes,
I can't believe it didn't blow up. You know, I was just like, how are people not crazy about this movie? Because to me, it's perfect. You know, but yeah, and John and Carpenter too, which we haven't dropped yet. Today is the day of one of our Carpenter heroes.
Oh my God, we need a bagpipe moment for him.
Yes. I wish I had bagpipes handy, but I do not.
Can you put it in post? Drop a bagpipe right here?
Yes, I can. I can add a bagpipe
in honor of our patron saint of Aries, Rowdy Roddy Piper, who had Sun and Mercury in Aries.
Wow.
He's with us. May his bagpipes scream forever.
He died July 31st, 2015 at the age of 61 from a heart attack caused by hypertension.
Oh man.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I got to meet that dude, and he was so cool. So I was really bummed out.
His death was acknowledged with tributes, including a 10-bell salute at wrestling events.
Oh.
I didn't know that was a thing. Oh,
they were pretty iconic back. You know, that era of wrestling is just like it's just insane, you know?
Yeah, there's nothing quite like it.
He was from Canada. Did you guys know he was born in Canada?
I had no idea.
Yeah. And like you said, Aries, April 17th. This is his day. This is my little sister's birthday too. Who knew?
Wow. And that's today. Look at that.
Yeah, look at that.
I didn't even realize Jesse pinged me on Substack, and I'm like, oh my God, no way.
I had no idea, bro. I mean, I was scrolling headlines this morning on my news feed, and it was just like, yeah, here's to happy birthday, whatever, to Roddy Piper. And I was like,
he was expelled from junior high for having a switchblade.
Oh, well.
I know, but it went up for him. Sure did.
He was a wrestling phenomenon and was in one of the best John Carpenter movies.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. All right.
Wait,
something uplifting after that.
I know, that was so sad. We already talked about CERN and the Mandela effect. I was going to ask something. I wanted to circle back to our birth charts, but now I can't remember it. It's gone.
Oh, no.
We're probably drunk at this point. So
no.
Oh, I mean, okay. I'm probably drunk at this point. So
I am completely straight and sober, and
to let everybody out there know, it's Friday. It's Friday night when we're doing this.
When we're doing this, we sure are. There's no judgment here.
It's been a week. So
it's been a good week, but it has been a week. I feel like
it's been full speed ahead. It's been full speed ahead. But yeah, everything's amazing.
Well, it has been amazing, but also there's been this weird energy that has been like, I think I described it as basically when you clean your carpets, with a carpet cleaner, and then you think, oh, it's all spiffy. And then you come back when it's drying and there's spots that came up from the carpet padding. You're like, oh, fuck, I got to clean it again. And you do. And then Sam, I think it was you that said, and you have to rip out the fucking carpet.
Yeah. And he was right. That's what we got.
You were so right.
That's
rip it up and burn it.
Yeah, the first thing we did was like, Sam, what is going on right now?
Please, Sam, tell us what the fuck is going on. It's crazy. You think that you have dealt with these things. Like I have actively been dealing with these things and like bringing them up and looking them square on, and you don't have power over me. And then it's like, there you are again, a spot on my carpet. Are you kidding me? This energy. How long is this going to last? Oh.
It's really weird how things just don't go away. And maybe I think we conceptualize the whole letting go thing in like the wrong way. Cause I mean, even Jesus, there's so much verbiage about letting go that you can't let go. Like it's not going to happen.
No,
so deal.
You can't.
Like you just got to live your life, and things kind of go into the background or they go into the underground. And then they come back because they can, or when it's the time for them to come back, or when you're not busy, or when your defenses are down, or when something is like triggering it. Like let's just take a hint from the stars. It's all cyclical.
It's all cyclical. And what I just got for my guides, which was a download right here, which was so weird, was we don't judge when we get on a bike and we haven't ridden it in a while. We
Mhm.
just ride a bike. Well, it's the same thing with traumas. You
Right.
know, we shouldn't come to it with our baggage. It's like, oh, yeah, that's just a thing. It's a thing that I know how to do. I've seen it before. And letting go of it is not accurate. It's just like something that our soul knows. And it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, I know what that is. And that's all it is. We don't give
Yeah.
it energy of like, oh my God, now I'm going to double down on being a victim or the this or the that. I don't know. That was a
Well,
weird
when
thing. It was
You
like a
can't
bicycle.
cut a piece of your brain out. Do you really want to?
But
Would
then,
you really
right,
want to
then
erase your
Right.
memories because then
No.
you're not you anymore?
exactly. Took the
Yeah.
words out of my mouth. You're just not going
Yeah.
to be yourself. And for better and worse, that's part of your history. And when you're
Yeah.
lucky, it just recedes into history. It's just like reading a book, like, oh, this happened. And then on bad days, you're feeling the feelings.
Yeah. Also, been quite a journey with me this week. It'll be like a 3 a.m. wake up call. And I'm like, oh, that was an interesting dream where I woke up with this giant, thick, leather bound accounting book. And I went, oh, yeah, I saw the things. And I've been carrying this around to be a victim because I was attached to this idea still in a place in my soul of being a victim of like, look at all that was done for these people. And literally I've been invisible or worse than invisible to this person, to my mother. And then it's like, no, I'm the one that is insisting on carrying this accounting book around and I have the lessons. And so what I've done is just a little tweak to my perception. And every time I notice that there's been a difference, I go, yeah, I was treated differently. And that wasn't the way I wanted to be. And I chose to be a completely different mother. And so I just take it as a breadcrumb of like, I'm on the right path. It just reminds me that
Yeah.
I chose to be a different person in spite of that. And I chose this journey of being her daughter. So that's I know it sounds Pollyanna, but I've just changed my perception and it's let like 5 pounds of this crap come off of me this week. So
That's amazing. You know, it doesn't sound Pollyanna at all to me.
Mm.
In fact, I'm going to say, like, I'm not validating or justifying what happened. I'm not saying that at all. But isn't that contrast so rich for you to have?
yeah,
Like,
it is. It
right?
makes it richer, doesn't it?
Right? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's like we not need, God forbid, we need something bad, but it's like the contrast is important.
Yeah.
So how can you have the contrast if that history isn't there?
Yeah. I call
No
it
ma-
salty sweet.
Mm.
No matter
Salty
who
sweet.
you are or what you believe in or what your experiences are, I feel like it's safe to say that for most of us, it's been a heavy decade.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
for
There's
sure.
there's just been a whole lot go on at
Yeah.
once. You know, so
You're right.
and I finally, like you just said, I was like, I gotta let this go. And it you know, and everything attached to it as much as I possibly can and just go live, you know?
Well,
And when I did that, that's when that's when we
People.
started. And then now we're meeting all these cool people and like, you know, and I feel like myself again, you know?
Yeah. Well, and I don't think you give yourself credit, Jesse, because you bring out the best in other people. And I'm going to cry, but whatever. It's curious cat. So I cry. But you don't know how much I needed our friendship this last summer because I felt so lost. I was in a place where I had no connection with anybody and I felt kind of lost. And I'd walk and we'd text and reconnected. You're like, I'm done with social. So I gave you my phone number. We would just reconnect. And I said, do you do audio messages? And you laughed your ass off at me. You're like, yes, I'm in 2025. Yes, I can do audio messages, but you helped me to remember to love myself again. And I don't know what that magic is, but you just give it out so freely, Jesse. And I am just grateful for you. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there. I'm sure our mutual friend, Anna would say the same thing is that you may not know it, but you've kind of saved our lives in different ways. So you are a precious person. I'm really glad you're around.
Thank you. I mean, that's the kind of thing I needed to hear. Like I said, because it things have been heavy, and
Yeah.
all I want to do is just, I just want to help people like
You are.
feel better
You
about
are.
whatever, and
Yeah.
I've just always
You
been
are.
that way. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, you
Cam
are.
can
and
probably tell me
You
why
are.
I'm that way, and probably has, but
He's seen our
I
stars.
really
He knows.
don't have a choice in the matter.
Well, you are. Whether you get that feedback from people or you don't. I mean, I got a great confirmation. I threw out this, my guides were like on, I think it was Monday, they said, you're going to stop editing this piece and put it out there. And it was about kind of being fat shamed my whole life, and how that started happening and my journey with that, and like realizing the fuck I'm going to let anybody, myself included, bully myself for this body that gave me two amazing kids. And my guide said, put it out there. And I kid you not, I got this text message from one of my oldest friends, Kelly. And she said, you had no idea. I read your piece and it was so well written. And I was like, thank you for that. And she goes, no, but I was like, I'm so glad. Our mothers were very similar and they mothered us the same way. She goes, I'm so glad I got through that, but there's somebody that needs this. And then she knew who that person was because her guides told her. She DM'd it to this person and this person needed it so badly. And on top of it, her issues that she had with her parent, that parent had just died. You can't make this stuff up. And she was like, it was one of those things where I shouldn't care because this person did so much damage to me, but yet I did care because that's half of who I am as a person. And so all I'm saying is I got one of those moments of confirmation where the universe is like, you listen to us, you put it out there, and it landed exactly with who it was. And then she ended up in my DMs in Substack going, you had no idea what I needed to basically save my life at that moment. And it was just there. And I said, I just did what they said. And so what I'm saying to you, Jesse, is you may not know 90% of the times that you have made a difference, but I'm telling you, like, you helped me to be like, love my life and love myself again, just with our conversations that started this summer. So you are making a difference, whether you get that feedback or not. So
thank you. We all came up around the same time. We're all close in age, and it was a different experience back then.
Parenting was different back then.
Parenting was a different deal.
Parenting was different.
Not that I have any kids, but I from what I'm told, it's the experience now. It's not the experience.
Well, we didn't have
my experience was bad. It was just like it was not the same thing.
My mom smoked and drank during her pregnancy with me and my big brother. We didn't have car seats. It's like somebody was maybe holding you or your older sibling was holding you. Like, it's insane.
Totally.
But we survived.
Being like left home while the parents went to do whatever. You're just like on your own. You're leaving. You're walking to school. You're doing whatever the hell you want. Yeah. It was like kind of like free range humans, but not quite as bad as the Zuckerberg Ranch.
Yeah, not quite.
Oh my God. That's good.
Probably are microchipped. I bet you if there's little Zuckerbergs, the little Zuckers have little like pet microchips in them. Don't you think?
Oh God. I feel like some robot somewhere is gonna come for us after.
I know. We can cut out whatever we want.
It's fine. I just think it's kind of funny.
They shut down his virtual mall, so he can't touch us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the metaverse can't touch us.
I think one of you two made a post about like the really shitty games he's making or something. Like
that must have been really, Jesse.
It was really cringy, like this whole horrible interview he did with a super enthusiastic acolyte of his, talking about like their development project, and it's been shut down already. I mean, I thought that was just
where you wear that dumb thing on your head.
Yeah. Like, it made everybody motion sick.
Like, who in the fuck is gonna walk around with that fucking thing strapped to your head? You know what I mean?
I know.
They were like, this is gonna change work. You know what I mean? And like, what?
Yeah, it's gonna make everybody barf.
Everybody's gonna
make people motion sick.
Like,
right?
Everybody, it's not bad enough for all at the office on computers on our fucking phones. Now we're gonna have to strap that fucking thing on us.
Well, truly, in all seriousness, I really appreciate the pushback on those glasses, those meta glasses, because people are like, you don't want your image captured and tracked, especially if like you have a stalker or a ex-spouse or whatever the thing is. Everybody has different situations where it's like, we don't want to be tracked and stalked, and people can like hack into this data and know exactly where you are and then show up at that Panera to smash you.
Or what about all the creepy pictures that people can take wearing those topies?
My God. Yeah. And on top of it, the global south. Don't get me on my apple cart right here.
I mean, could you imagine? People could be standing, just taking like video of just like whoever
or they put their glasses on the dresser drawer is what has been happening in their bedroom. So they think that they're off.
We doom hold that one.
We doom hold that. I feel like I need a little dingle. Do you have your dingle thing?
Yeah.
We don't need to say thank you.
Okay. But like aren't there enough cameras fucking with us already?
Yes, there are. Yeah.
100%.
There totally are. I love the people that are like the DFlock, group that has a website now, ways that you can get from place to place without being in the flock camera.
You shouldn't have to, but we shouldn't have to do that.
I know, but I love that people are doing it. I love that
it's a
they're
good workaround, I guess. If that's the best
it's
you got.
awesome.
That's what I feel.
But God bless them. But my whole thing is like, why are we having to do that? That's creepy, man.
So messed up. I know.
It's creepy.
I know.
I get it. You got a camera on your door that like, okay, if somebody comes up and like rings a bell,
Those things are so ridiculous. By the time the camera syncs to your phone and tells you what's happening, it's like whoever was going to break in is already inside.
They're in.
And it's like, and then people know how to get around those anyway. So it's like,
I've got 4 dogs and a shotgun. I'm good. I don't need that dopey thing on the door,
Rusty Cole's coming for you.
Yeah.
Sam, I thought of the thing. Okay, at the top, you were saying these are the kinds of things that you like to do, right? The birth charts. Is there anything that you don't like to do, or you're like, I don't know, or times that you've had a client that they're not really open to hearing what is there that you've seen?
Sam, tell us about the weird clients.
I feel like it's a good place to end.
Luckily, like those are few and far between. I mean, if anything, people just don't.
I'm just kidding. Don't actually tell us about it.
No, I mean, it's like there's things you can do with astrology that I'm not particularly like practiced enough in, or you might say, I just don't like doing relationship, like romance stuff. It's not my wheelhouse. Even when I read, tarot cards, those questions are just like, oh my God, my brain just wants to melt. But I mean, I can certainly talk about what a relation. I've done that before for people. Like look at those charts and say, what are your strengths? What are your deficits as a couple? What you can work on, and this is why that happens. But like, there's a certain type of ask that it just tickles me like, oh no, this is not good. There's a certain type of person going through the throes of something very personal and painful, and astrology and tarot is not the answer.
Did you feel like though with something like that, they're basically asking you to confirm something that's in the back of their head about what's going on with their relationship,
Right. Like, is he cheating on me, or is she cheating on me? Like stuff like that.
I feel like it's like that. And like, who wants to get in the middle of that, even metaphysically? You know what I mean?
I feel like I want to look at a chart. I feel like I want to look at a chart as an artist, right? And find it. I want to find the truth that the chart wants me to know. And the chart, there's too much. What's this word? I'm thinking of the word overcomplete. I think it's a mathematical term. There's just too much in there. There's too many options to choose from, right? So for me, it's very impressionistic. Like I look at a chart and it starts talking to me, not literally. I mean, sometimes it's literal, but okay. Most of the time it's not literal, but I'll look at a chart and it'll just be like an impressionistic thing that, okay, this is important. And then I hone in on that. So if I find something that has to do with the relationship, or even something extreme like a malevolent entity, I don't know. If the chart tells me that, I'm gonna say it. I'd rather just have like as little information as possible about what the person wants, and then tell them what they're meant to know in that encounter.
Yeah.
Now, some people might say, well, then you're just like not really. I don't care. This is how I do it. And I don't like pay my bills with this. This is what I want to do for fun and love of the craft.
Sure.
So you don't have to see me. See 1,000 other people.
But I mean, when but that point you just made about how you look at it like artistically, like it's art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really, when you don't realize these things because I'm not, like I said, I'm not very familiar with what, which is why I'm fascinated by it. And you were so good. Guys, get a reading, seriously.
Get a damn reading. Treat yourself.
But Sam, you're so good. Like Jen made the point,
Thank
and
you.
I totally agree with her. You're teaching people
Yes.
as you go through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like you may not even be
amazing.
like thinking, you may not even realize that you are, but like I was sitting there like going, oh, I get it now. What he's, because, and if you would have just like, said, hey, your chart said this, I would have been like, it was been like this
Right.
wild.
Listen,
mystery.
I've gotten readings
Yeah.
myself from astrologers, like people that have been doing it longer than I have, or better, or whatever that means, better. And some things that they said didn't land, but a couple of things did that were important. And that's just the way it is. Same thing with a tarot reading or any other kind of reading. I mean, no one is omniscient, like I said at the beginning. And this is a very personal, for me, I guess spiritual is the word. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I do work with planets, not as planets, but as actual celestial beings. So that's really what I think of myself as, someone who uses astrology in their personal astro mysticism or magical work, whatever you want to call it at this point. I don't know what to call myself. So it's like, if you want my vibe, come, I'll help you out. I'll do the best I can. And maybe you won't hear something you want to, but maybe you'll hear something you need to.
You'll walk away, like Jesse was saying, you'll walk away knowing more. It's like, it's not just thrown at you, these terms. It's like, oh, let's explain this. I have a question about this. And then also it's like giving context to your own personal story. It's literally, for me, I'm going to be decompressing it for days and days and days, because I think that also my brain, I can only, land on some information, and then I think about that and I gnash on it. And then I go, wow, I can really see where that's been in my life. And the way that you explain it, it's like, well, that makes sense, because that's the filter that I see all of these things through. And then you become conscious of it. So instead of being like in autopilot, like stupid AI clanker, we get to be purposeful and do our shit with purpose and intention. And I think that you help people have the tools to do that. It's so valuable. And I love that you talk about it as like, it's also, I don't know what I am. It's like spiritual, it's like magical. And it works. Whatever it is, it works. It's really powerful. It's really wonderful. And I want to call it medicine, because it feels like medicine.
I appreciate hearing that. So like exactly what you said, Jennifer, the way you digested it and came back and connected what I said with your history, according to the rules, I could have said something like that, but it's not for me to say that you've had this experience.
Right.
Right. This is like, so however way it landed, it was like, for me, the ideal case scenario where I give you the basic indications and then you go home and say, you mentioned the no square, you mentioned the kind of character of Venus and Scorpio, and then that happened. That is so much more valuable than me saying, well, there could have been this history with, but that just doesn't help you in the moment, right?
Yeah, I agree 100%. Well, and also that's the thing, is sometimes you could, like, that is a very gentle, loving way to share with somebody their chart, because it's like, imagine if you had, it's like, I'm just flexing and showing off in a sense that I know what that could mean. And it usually does mean, where it's like, you didn't slap me in the face with the trauma. It's like, I got to have that moment myself where I'm thinking about it as I fall asleep and went, I know what that is. Something tickles here. And I know what that is. And I went, oh yeah, that's where it was in my chart. And that's how it showed up in my actual soul purpose. So
man,
I think it's loving.
Yeah. There's nothing performative about what you do.
Hell no.
100%. I felt no ego. I felt no trying to show off or trying to impress somebody, none of that stuff. And I'm a person who thinks in plot and story and have my entire life. And the way you went through and laid it out, it connected everything together for me. These random, and you go, oh, you're able to kind of step back. Like when, like you see those boards with us dopey writers use where we start sticking note cards, up and like connecting them together.
It's everywhere.
So that really happens where you have a board and all
yes,
these
totally. We're like psychopaths.
There's like one over there. There's like
it's
one
like
over there.
Mind Hunters, but it's our like story.
That show needs to come back. Mind Hunters has to come back.
Good.
Segue, but okay, I'll stop.
It's never going to, but it should.
They could never make it as good as that. I'm rewatching it now because it's so good.
For whatever reason, I love period stuff.
I do too.
60s and 70s.
Same.
It just something about that. Just I want to pretend that I died in the 60s and early 71.
We all grew up watching those shows, bro.
And then came back to like resolve my 60s and 70s issues.
We were kids and like our old man had like the Rockford Files on and shit. You know what I mean? Like
we'd come home for lunch and Perry Mason is on at lunchtime.
But like my parents looked like that. They had bell bottoms and like lamb chops and like fucked up hair. They had those horrible butterfly collars and shit.
Of course, dude.
The boxy cars, right?
Okay, raise your hand if your parents had a waterbed. Mine did.
Oh, I wasn't that cool.
I had one at one point. Yeah, no.
We had a Buick Regal, and that was it.
Hey, that's pretty cool. What color was it?
It was like a wonky, like brown beige or something.
Yes!
And that became my first. That's the car that I learned on to drive, and.
My mom
I cut someone off on my driver's test. I cut someone off on the road, and the teacher goes, "You know what? You cut them off, but you did a really good job. I'm gonna let you pass."
Nice. That's great. See, that's how you could do shit back then. Yeah.
Did you shift on the wheel with that, or was it on the floor?
No, it had the thing on the side.
Yeah, on the side. Okay.
Right, it had the side shifter. But listen, I was on this huge, like, it was a highway, or no, actually it was a turnpike. Ooh, and people are flying down that thing. There's no way to make a turn onto that without cutting someone off midday. Fuck that. So you just punch it. You got 8 cylinders. You just hammer the fucking thing. Go.
They probably thought you showed restraint because you didn't flip them off and tell them to fuck off out your window. It's like, wow, that was really good. You could be a driver.
She just liked me. I want to believe she just liked me. She thought I was cute because I had nothing else going on at that time.
That's got to be what it was. That's got to be what it was.
I really had 100%. Nothing else happening for me.
That's so sweet. Okay, but before we close, tell everybody where you want them to send you love and reach out to you and connect with your writing and your readings.
Sure. I'm on Substack, so Sky Guy Readings on Substack. I'm kind of like, I have my accounts on Instagram and Facebook just like there, but I'm not really going to check them. I've decided to just not post there and not go there. So best thing to do is email me skyguyreadings@gmail.com, or just, if you're listening to this, it's on Substack. So from tags and stuff, you'll find me Sky Guy Readings on Substack. So I look forward to hearing from you guys, whoever wants a reading or just a chat, consultation, or questions. I'm here for it.
And look for we're going to have a viewing of Krull on Substack.
We're gonna have a watch party for sure.
We're gonna figure out how to do it. Yeah.
Well, even if we just have it in the background, like we're all watching it, we start at the same time, and we can just CinemaSin it the whole time. And it's just like all the screens are open, all the mics are open. That would be fun.
Sick. Like Mystery Theater 2000.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm thinking of.
Right.
Jesus.
Back when robots were cool.
Fucking clankers. Fucking clankers. Fucking clankers.